All eyes on London tonight with the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games now just 4 days away. Except for some final touches, the Olympic Park is ready, and the folks in charge of security say they are too. Our own Stephanie Goss joins us tonight from inside the park for the first time. Stephanie, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Well, they've been rehearsing the opening ceremony. You can actually hear the music from where we are. Today, government officials met for the first time for a security briefing that will happen every day to ensure that the athletes that have come here and the people that come here to watch them are safe. Today, U.S. tennis star and Olympian Venus Williams returned to Wimbledon, not with a racket, but with the torch. Across town at the Police Command and Control Center,
8,500 cameras.
Robert Broadhurst had his eye on the torch, too. Broadhurst is in charge of 9,000 police officers for the Olympics, on the ground, in the water, and in the air. They are prepared, he says, for any kind of threat.
The biggest threat, of course, is terrorism, but the likelihood of that happening is very, very small.
More likely an attack on a softer target. In a city of more than 8 million people, there are a lot of them. There are more than 6,000 buses in London. It would be too time-consuming to check everyone's bag and impossible to put a police officer on every bus. That's why they're considered a soft target. An attack on a bus, even a small one, would have a huge emotional impact on this city. Because it has happened before. 7 years ago, a homegrown terror cell attacked London commuters, killing dozens. For the Games, police are backed up by an arsenal of military might, including Typhoon fighter jets, surface-to-air missiles on apartment buildings, and the Royal Navy's largest ship, the HMS Ocean, the biggest peacetime security operation in British history. Earlier this month, it hit an obstacle, a security guard shortage at the venues. 3,500 British troops are filling the gap. More are on standby. Defense expert Michael Clark believes it will only make the Games safer.
I mean, who would you rather be looked after by? A group of people who are casual employees or the cheerful face of the army and the police?
Tonight, the smiles were there for one of the final dress rehearsals before Friday's opening ceremony. Officials say the key to successful security here in London will be a balance between peaceful policing on the surface and necessary force hidden below. It's a task they admit is not very easy. Brian.
Stephanie Goss in London tonight, where we will see you shortly. And along those lines, just a reminder here, our nightly news live coverage from London begins on Wednesday. And on Wednesday on this broadcast, an exclusive interview with Mitt Romney, who will be in London as part of a multi-nation overseas trip.